Earlier in today's show, we learned why these homeowners were replacing their 15-year-old furnace and air conditioner, and discussed what to look for when selecting a new HVAC system for your home. Now let's head back out to our project where Larry Hacker takes us through the new system our homeowner selected and explains how this system was designed with indoor air quality in mind. Well, Larry, it sure is nice to be able to explain furnace installation in a basement like this, and boy, did the guys do a great job installing it. I was amazed how quickly it took place.
Yeah, they did a great job, and that really goes back to the pre-planning. When they were out here talking to the customer initially, they did all of the measurements ahead of time so that they could basically shrink the time frame it takes while they're on site to inconvenience the homeowner as short as possible to be able to get the furnace back up in operation.
So would that be a good question for a homeowner or viewer today if they're considering replacing their furnace? Ask their contractor how long it's going to take to install, and are they doing any prefabbing out at their shop?
Absolutely. To get that information up front, roughly how long is it going to take, that'd be a great question for them. In this case, they were able to do all of this in about 5 hours on site.
That's amazing. And also probably ask if there's anything they can do, like clean it out, because we noticed, again, very clean environment. If a homeowner can keep everything away, gives the guys a much nicer working environment.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's quickly walk through some of the key points of this installation and really maybe explain how a furnace operates.
Sure. What they did here initially, this is the return that's coming back from this space. If you recall, there were a lot of other items that were in here when we looked at it earlier today. They've cleaned this up considerably, took those things out of the picture. They've sized this properly for this new furnace. They've gone through an air purifier, which is the air cleaner for the furnace. We have the blower in the bottom. Combustion now takes place here. This is our intake pipes. We're actually using outdoor air for combustion, so we're not wasting preheated air that we've spent money to heat. It's taking outside air and then in turn exhausting the flue products out, again back through another set of PVC. Then this cabinet is actually the coil that does our cooling for the home in the summertime.
And they actually went with a new air conditioning system as well, right?
Yeah, they went with an air conditioning system right with the furnace. And again, they were able to tie this all together in about 5 hours.
Wow, that's just incredible. Now, quickly on that air conditioning system, that's a little different than what was here originally, right?
Yeah, it was. They've upgraded the air conditioning system, and they actually went with a heat pump so that they're going to be able to pull some heat in the spring and fall from outdoors versus running the gas furnaces off, and it's going to save the customer some money. They're in a country, so they're burning LP, so this is going to save them money electrically and on the gas side to be able to do that.
Sure, so it's another option a homeowner can consider out there, air source heat pump, and they're becoming more popular in our area, I know that. So as we can see, a lot more goes into installing a furnace than simply installing a furnace. I mean, we kind of make it sound easy, the professionals make it look easy, but their training must really be important.
Yeah, with the technology changes that have happened over the 20 years, you're seeing a big difference in what we need to do for venting properly, what we have to do for airflow, what we have to do for indoor air quality, the different things that the dealer has to understand to provide the customer with the best installed system. They go through duct sizing classes, being able to do the transitions, to be able to clean up the airflow, and that's critical for the home to be able to condition properly, is to make sure that the ductwork size correctly.
Really? So as the industry continues to evolve, so does the training to keep the professionals up there. So at the end of the day, ultimately the consumer gets the best value and the most comfortable home.
Sure they do.
And along the lines of a comfortable home, indoor air quality comes into play, and it must be at the forefront with these homeowners with the capture and kill filtration system. Yeah,
that's just one of them. Let's step around the back and I'll show you a couple more they went with. What we have here is a humidifier to add humidity in the wintertime. They've also gone with UV lights, which are going to radiate and keep the condensate pan and the coil clean from bacteria growth. They also incorporated a heat recovery ventilator in this house to introduce fresh air economically year-round.
Wow, so with all the different options that are out there, they're obviously very well-educated consumers, talked to their professional, and got what's right for their situation.
Yeah, they obviously talked to the contractor and we're able to get educated on everything that's available today.
Seems to me there's a lot to control here. Is it confusing for the occupants of the house?
There's a lot to control. It used to be confusing. Today it's very simple because it's all done through one device on the wall, and actually now it's Wi-Fi compatible, so we can actually talk to it with our cell phone. So as a consumer, they can be sitting on the couch looking at their system and make any adjustments they want. Plus, it can notify the contractor if there are any issues here, and they can dispatch somebody ahead of time even before the homeowner in many cases knows they have an issue.
Wow, that's great peace of mind. Just think if you're on vacation and something happens. I mean, or if you're at home and you don't know if anything's wrong with your furnace, but your contractor can keep it running.
Exactly.
Well, you know, as we've looked at so many different options, we've looked at a complete system, we've talked about indoor air quality. To me, all these add-ons cost money, but there's a payback on every one of them. I hope the viewer realizes that it might not necessarily be just monetarily. We're talking indoor air comfort, and can you really put a price on a home's comfort and the occupant's health?
Well, you really can't. And when you look at it for the life that this system lasts, it's pennies per day to be comfortable. Indoor comfort for the amount of time we're indoors today, it's really priceless.
Sure, it really makes sense to me. Tell you what, Larry, I appreciate you coming on today's show and walking us through some of the options and this installation.
Been my pleasure, Stu.
Now here are some key points to help summarize today's show. It's always a good idea to have your home's HVAC system properly maintained on an annual basis by a professional heating contractor. But keep in mind that even with routine maintenance, it will still eventually need to be replaced, as the average life of a residential furnace and air conditioner is between 15 and 20 years. And when selecting a new HVAC system, it's a great time to improve your home's indoor air quality. So be sure to discuss the different equipment options with your heating contractor. And finally, always work with a knowledgeable, experienced contractor who is willing to design an HVAC system around your specific wants, needs, and desires.